It's pretty easy to begin hating on a lot of guys in the NFL. Whether it's due to their attitude off the field, misplays on the field, you can find about a billion reasons to get upset with any number of players. However, there are a couple of guys out there that no matter how hard you try, you just can't bring yourself to hate them.
Touchdown! First NFL touchdown for Zach Wilson! And it goes to...
There are plenty of NFL players that you either love or hate. This includes Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, and Jalen Ramsey, just to name a few. You're either with them or you're against them. But on the flip side, there are so many good guys in the NFL who, regardless of which team you support, you just can't find a reason to hate on them whatsoever. They're just too good of a dude on and off the field to the point that they're universally loved in the football world and beyond. So, who's your favorite team's most likable player? Well, here is one player from every NFL team who is truly impossible to hate. Arizona Cardinals, J.J. Watt. Aside from his Hall of Fame play on the field, Watt is renowned for his incredible generosity off the field. The three-time Defensive Player of the Year befriended 3 children who were orphaned after their parents were tragically killed in a car accident. 2 of the kids were left paralyzed, and Watt even dedicated a wheelchair sack dance to one of them. Watt also helped raise over $37 million towards relief from the damage of Hurricane Harvey. If he's not a hero on and off the field, then I don't know who is. Atlanta Falcons, Marcus Mariota. Mariota never fully lived up to expectations in Tennessee as the number 2 pick of the 2015 draft, but the former Heisman Trophy winner has always been humble and professional. He handled his benching in favor of Ryan Tannehill with class. He never complained about his backup role to Derek Carr with the Las Vegas Raiders. And let's also give a shout out to his Motivate Foundation, which aids underserved communities. Baltimore Ravens, Calais Campbell. Campbell looks intimidating on the field at 6'8" and 300 pounds, but he couldn't be a nicer person off of it. Campbell won the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year award for the 2019 season. He has always been a humbling presence at and away from the gridiron. A gentle giant is probably the best way to describe him when he isn't trying to squash the opposing team's quarterback. Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen. The Bills were one of the NFL's perennial losers long before Allen arrived. Now he's turned them into one of the NFL's top teams. Neutral fans can't hold any ill will towards the Bills though. This fan base deserves a Super Bowl more than just about any other, and thanks to the all-world play of this young phenom, the Bills are finally relevant again. How can you not like a top 5 QB like Allen who's always playing with a smile? Carolina Panthers, DJ Moore. Everyone likes a star who stays loyal to his team and refuses to complain, even if the circumstances are never fun. And that's the case with Carolina's standout wide receiver, DJ Moore. He refused to rip teammate Baker Mayfield or former head coach Matt Rule when the media tried to goad him into it during the 2022 season. Moore just smiled and refused to critique anybody, even if it was justified. That is a good locker room guy right there. Chicago Bears, David Montgomery. Don't you like a player who puts his head down and gets to work without making a big deal about it? That's the Bears star running back for you. Fantasy owners love a reliable running back, and that's what Montgomery is. He simply doesn't give you a reason to dislike him whatsoever. And if you read about his tough upbringing and difficult hardships, you'd really come to admire his life story even more. Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Burrow. Even if he weren't famous, Burrow would still be that guy that everyone would like to have a beer with upon meeting him. He just seems like a nice, calm, laid-back fellow who quietly goes about his business without seeking attention or fame. Burrow is such a feel-good story too, having grown up in a poor part of Ohio State, but ultimately persevering to get where he is today. He single-handedly turned his hometown's losing franchise into a championship contender. How could anyone hate a guy like that? Cleveland Browns, Nick Chubb. Chubb is one of the NFL's elite running backs of his era, and he's just another one of those guys that offers you no reason for hate. He is a cool and calm fellow who goes about his business week in and week out without stirring up trouble or drama either on or off the field. You can't say the same about many of Cleveland's other stars, sadly. Dallas Cowboys, Dak Prescott. Hate on the Dallas Cowboys all you want, but leave their star quarterback out of it. Dak Prescott has endured a lot throughout his life. He lost his mother to colon cancer in 2013 and created the Faith Fight Finish Foundation in her honor, in order to help people with adversity. 7 years later in 2020, Dak lost his older brother Jace to suicide. The man has been through a lot, but despite all his struggles and the fact that he's the quarterback of the NFL's most popular team, he still remains as humble as ever. Denver Broncos, Justin Simmons. Simmons is another nice underdog story, going from a late third-round pick in 2016 to a bona fide star for the Broncos. Many of the game's elite defensive backs tend to rile up opposing receivers, but Simmons isn't one of them. He just lets his play do the talking. And his off-the-field charitable work does not go unnoticed. He was the Broncos' 2021 nomination for the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. Detroit Lions, Jared Goff. It feels like a lot of us feel sorry for Goff. The LA Rams ditched him 2 years after he got them to a Super Bowl, forcing him to play out 2 of his prime years with a rebuilding and dysfunctional Lions team. Who doesn't want a guy like Goff to succeed? He handled his Rams departure with so much class, even when the organization clearly could not wait to get rid of him. Green Bay Packers, Aaron Jones. It's too hard to hate on a humble player that goes out of his way to entertain reporters and fans, and that's exactly what the Packers' star running back does. Jones loves to wear a sombrero, and once in a while he dons sunglasses on the sidelines. Jones calls them his touchdown shades. So hey, extra style points right there for the Packers' fan favorite. Houston Texans, Brandon Cooks. I think one could understand if Cooks was frustrated over being traded time and time again, but he ended up taking the high road and said, "I take it as a positive that I'm wanted," after he was sent to the Houston Texans in 2020. Now, even though he's on a non-competitive Houston team, Cooks has displayed the utmost loyalty and doesn't at all complain about the state of his dysfunctional franchise. So hey, respect all around, Mr. Cooks. Indianapolis Colts, Matt Ryan. Can most of us agree that we especially felt bad for Matty Ice after the Falcons' Super Bowl 51 collapse? Unfortunately, it all went downhill from there for Ryan and the Falcons organization. Ryan couldn't have handled it with more class when he learned that the Falcons were trying to replace him with Deshaun Watson. He deserved so much better, yet he handled the situation like a pro. Is there anyone out there who wouldn't be happy for the 2016 league MVP if he one day got his hands on a Lombardi trophy? Jacksonville Jaguars, Josh Allen. Everyone loves a player who lets his play on the field do the talking. And that's Josh Allen in a nutshell. You never see this dude trash talking or getting into it with the media. All he does is come to work and get after the quarterback, never once complaining about being stuck on one of the worst franchises in the NFL. He also tends to get overshadowed by the other NFL superstar who happens to share the same name, Bills QB Josh Allen. But unlike some other NFL divas, the Jags pass rusher doesn't seem to mind sharing the name or subsequent spotlight one bit. Kansas City Chiefs, Travis Kelce. The perennial Pro Bowler is making a compelling case to be recognized as the tight end GOAT when all is said and done. Kelce is among the NFL's elite pass catchers, and boy does he have fun doing it. Kelce also runs the 87 and Running Foundation, which works at creating opportunities for underprivileged kids and teenagers. In fact, in January 2021, he was named the winner of the Walter Payton Man of the Year Charity Challenge, which honestly says a lot. Las Vegas Raiders, Josh Jacobs. Jacobs was homeless as a youth and had to live in a car with his dad and siblings. And just look where he is now. Jacobs became a superstar at Alabama and won a national championship with the Crimson Tide in 2017. Now he's among the league's best running backs. All of it's honestly quite an incredible story, making Jacobs someone you just can't help but root for. Los Angeles Chargers, Justin Herbert. Like Joe Burrow, Herbert is just calm, cool, and collected. He does his business without seeking all this media attention. He's always playing with a smile on his face, and we got a good look at his humorous side in those Kendall Auto Group ads. And you really gotta admire the guy's toughness. Playing through rib cartilage fractures early in the 2022 season? That is some toughness for you. And how could anyone hate on a guy who probably has the best hair in the NFL? Los Angeles Rams, Cooper Kupp. Kupp wasn't exactly a household name when the Rams drafted the Eastern Washington product in the 3rd round back in 2017. He played at a small and relatively unknown school and was joining a long-time losing franchise. Kupp's wife, Anna, worked 2 jobs to keep the couple financially stable while he pursued his football dream. And now he is a Super Bowl champion and MVP, putting up one of the all-time greatest wide receiver seasons ever in 2021. Yeah, good luck finding a reason to hate on this guy. Miami Dolphins, Teddy Bridgewater. Bridgewater was going to be the long-term starter in Minnesota, but a horrific ACL tear caused him to miss the entire 2016 season. Bridgewater's career was suddenly in jeopardy, but he worked like a warrior to get himself back in the game, and now here he is. Bridgewater missed out on chances to be the long-term starter for the Vikings, New York Jets, New Orleans Saints, Carolina Panthers, and Denver Broncos. But he never, ever once complained. He stayed humble and thankful the entire way, and now he's backing up Tua Tagovailoa in South Beach. He is just happy and thankful to be playing football. Truthfully, I think we need more people like that. Minnesota Vikings, Justin Jefferson. Manny's star receiver is always out there with a smile on his face. He's always having a blast and really brings that element of joy to the football field. Jefferson also is one of the NFL's best mic'd up guys. There's always a delightful soundbite of some sort in there. And the fact that he wins his owners so many fantasy football games only adds to the whole impossible to hate thing. New England Patriots, Devin McCourty. There is a reason Bill Belichick has kept the veteran safety around this long. He loves and admires everything the longtime Patriots locker room leader brings to the table. And rightfully so. Devin and twin brother Jason, who also played professionally, have been extremely generous off the field as well. Devin is on the Boston Medical Center Hospital Board, and Jason is a part of the BMC Philanthropic Trust. New Orleans Saints, Mark Ingram. The longtime Saints running back brings so much personality and humor to the table. It's no wonder he's one of the all-time favorite players for NFL reporters to speak with. Ingram's social media presence is also must-follow stuff. He just has a way of bringing so much fun to the game of football. Don't tell us that football players need to show more personality, because Mark Ingram shows plenty of it. New York Giants, Saquon Barkley. Barkley is the franchise face of a team that plays in America's biggest market. Unlike past and present New York sports stars, he's not overhyped or overexposed by the media there. Hence why it's hard to find a flaw with this guy. Barkley is a world-class athlete and has given the Giants their first superstar running back since Tiki Barber. He is a fantasy football darling, which of course only aids in him being universally loved. New York Jets, CJ Mosley. Mosley was a rock on the Ravens D for 5 years before signing with the Jets in 2018. He's renowned for his excellent leadership on and off the field, as evidenced by him being named the Jets nominee for the Art Rooney Sportsmanship Award. Philadelphia Eagles, Jason Kelce. Hard to believe that Kelce was a 6th-round draft pick of the Eagles back in 2011. He has put together a Hall of Fame career, highlighted by that Super Bowl 52 championship with the Eagles. Kelce is the heart and soul of the Eagles, and he works tirelessly for charitable purposes off the field. One such instance is when he raised $100,000 for the Eagles Autism Foundation in 2021 by working as a guest bartender. Pittsburgh Steelers, TJ Watt. Much like older brother JJ, people mostly love TJ for his dominance on the field. He is a freak of nature and a one-of-a-kind pass rusher. And despite his angry play on the gridiron, he couldn't be a nicer person. San Francisco 49ers, George Kittle. Kittle is one of the most outgoing and fun-loving guys in football. His interviews are always off-the-chart hilarious. And his love for WWE hasn't gone unnoticed either. I mean, this impersonation of The Rock is so spot on. Seattle Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. DK Metcalf's style of play and trash talk has brought some hatred upon himself, but his teammate and fellow stud wideout Tyler Lockett stays quiet and lets his play do the talking, so it's a lot harder to hate on him. Lockett was the Seahawks nominee for the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award in 2021, a certified all-around good guy indeed. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Julio Jones. A lot of people have come to dislike the Bucs because of Tom Brady and the controversial Antonio Brown signing. But Jones just joined the team after being one of the game's most loved receivers in Atlanta for several seasons. Hard to hate on an all-around good guy and surefire Hall of Famer like Julio Jones, though. Tennessee Titans, Derrick Henry. Henry is built like no other running back. He is a once-in-a-lifetime runner and a human highlight reel. But he's also a good-hearted dude too. And he's never been one to get too angry or aggressive with his opponents, despite his menacing size. Absolutely everyone loves King Henry. Washington Commanders, Terry McLaurin. McLaurin is one of the very few positives on a dysfunctional Washington team right now. But like DJ Moore, he just keeps putting up elite numbers and never complains about his quarterbacks, coaches, teammates, or really anything else. And rather than bail on his team, he displayed his loyalty by signing a lucrative extension in 2022. But which NFL player do you think is the hardest to hate? Join us in the comments section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton. And hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.